Assalamualaikum and a very good day. I bid to all the viewers. Thank you for participating in the conference. Shortly, I will be presenting my mini-scale research that I have conducted at my school, and the title given is Improving Students' Narrative Writing Skills Through Tuntastic Animation-Based Digital Storytelling. Before I begin, let me briefly introduce myself first. My name is Nik Nur Hanim Ayuni binti Baharom. I am an English teacher at Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Datuk Ismail, Kelantan. I will begin my presentation by illustrating the significance of this research. As suggested from the title, this research basically focuses on the skills that the teachers need in teaching narrative writing to their students. And why I find the research significant, it is because the changes in the English curriculum, especially in the context of secondary school, as the format in SPM level had been revamped, whereby the students need to write more cohesively because of the number of words that had been shortened. And therefore, it is very important for the students to be equipped with sufficient narrative writing skills. And as stated by a very great American scholar, the skills that should be covered include the development of ideas, appropriate structures, and appropriate language use. And these aspects make narrative writing is complicated, especially for low proficiency learner. Okay, now we move on to the statement of problem. So what leads to the research? The problem surrounding teaching of narrative writing includes students lacking of practice and students are not motivated, and this can be caused by the monotonous lecturing method and boring writing tasks, especially in the context of PDPR or home-based learning that we are dealing with right now. And due to the nature of online learning, the poor teacher-student attention and the limitation of communication via online makes it harder for the students to acquire the necessary skills to write a story. So because of that, we need to find alternatives, or we need to experiment with the available digital tools that can possibly help them to improve their writing. Now we move on to the objective. As mentioned before, this research tries to investigate the effectiveness of the use of animation-based digital storytelling called Tuntastic, whether or not that this integration of Tuntastic application can help students to improve their skills and motivation. And among the questions that we attempt to answer are, does Tuntastic animation-based digital storytelling increase students' narrative writing task submission rate? And secondly, does Tuntastic animation-based digital storytelling improve the quality of their writing? And finally, what are the students' perception towards their writing experience with the use of this application? Methodology. In this research, the sample are from my own students, 45 Form 3 students from my school, where the two classes had been chosen to be experimental group and another one is control group. The idea is that to investigate whether there's a difference in terms of performance between these two groups. So one group will be using the application in their lesson, whereas the control group will just learn without using the application. And the methodology involves 3 online lessons, which I carried out using Google Meet. The duration for each lesson is 1 hour, and among the steps or among the what the students experience in their lesson were analyzing sample narrative, structuring narrative, and introduction of the tone-tested digital storytelling. Whereas for the control group, they only analyze sample narrative. They learn about a structure and they proceed with writing practice and drafting. Okay, now the task assigned was following the exact format of the SPM. The students were required to write a narrative essay with the length of 120 to 150 words. And they are given the beginning of the beginning sentence where they have to use it in their writing. And for the experimental group, they need to produce a narration. After they write on paper, their final product would be the tone-tested animation. And both groups are required to submit both the draft and the complete essay. Here is the screenshot of the lesson that I have conducted with the 2 classes. In this lesson, I introduced them with the structure of narrative writing. The group, as you can see, I introduced them with the tone-tested application, and also I set the task that requires them to use the application. Okay, in investigating the effectiveness of this application, we had analysed the students' work, and the total number of writing that we had analysed were 18 drafts and 18 completed essays, which were submitted by 9 students from experimental group and 9 students from the control group. So how do we analyse? We have developed one scale based on CEFR descriptor, which we use to analyze the quality of the student's draft. And for the final essay, we use the CEFR band descriptors, where it will assess the quality based on band, from band 1 until band 5. This table shows the 9 students whose writing were assessed among the advanced level, intermediate, and also low proficiency level. Since my school does not stream the classes, so we can say that the proficiency range of the students in both groups are quite similar. Okay, here is the drafting competency scale. And although we know that draft is basically the incomplete essay, but then we want to observe whether the introduction of tone-tested application can help students in structuring the story even from the drafting level. So we have 5 levels that we use in assessing the quality of their draft. Okay, let's proceed with the results and discussion. Alright, so here are the examples of the final product submitted by the 9 students from experimental group. They have narrated their stories that they have written earlier in a very interesting animation with the help of a very user-friendly application, which is Tuntastic. It is very unfortunate that I cannot play the audio, but it's very all the works are very interesting and shows the quality of their story which they have written earlier. Okay, the first aspect of the finding is the task submission rate. You can see here that the submission rate of the narrative essays is 91%, and for the control group, it's only 61%, okay, of the total 23 students in the class. So we can see that students who use Tuntastic application are more motivated to submit their draft and their complete essay. And next is drafting competency. Students' understanding is further strengthened when they use the application because it coincides with their previous drafting lesson, and even the selection of the characters and as well as the visually appealing setting of place provided in the application had helped them in improving the competency in their draft. You can see that in the experimental group, all 9 drafts submitted had achieved band level 5 according to the scale, and for the control group, only 1 draft achieved level 5 and the rest below than level 5. So we can see that even at drafting level, the students had demonstrated their competency. Okay, when it comes to essay writing competency, the results are also in favor with the use of Tuntastic application in the writing task. You can see that 5 out of 9 students in experimental group achieved band 5, while the highest band achieved by students in the control group is only band 4. In terms of the analysis of their writing, obviously we found out that the students were able to use better quality of ideas with vivid descriptions of characters and settings, and all of these elements are actually provided in the application itself. Now we move on to the next result, which is about their perception, the students' perception about using Tuntastic application in their writing activity. And based on the semi-structured interview conducted with 9 students from the experimental group, we found out that the students were very positive towards the activity, and they described the lesson using positive adjectives such as fun, easy, and they also mentioned that they feel more encouraged to upgrade the standard of their writing, especially in terms of using more precise vocabulary, and they even feel motivated to exchange ideas with their peers. So therefore, the implementation of animation tasks provides balanced attention between a product and the process of writing. So what can we conclude based on the findings that we got or the research is that the use of Tuntastic animation had positive impact on students' motivation and also the quality of their writing. They were able to develop more ideas and creativity, and with that, it is highly recommended for the teachers out there to try using this application as a digital tool to improve their teaching and learning. So that's all from me. I hope the research will be beneficial to all the teachers out there. Assalamualaikum and thank you.